Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
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 And if you like cellar dwellers
And trapdoor lovers.
there's a musical for that.
And if you like mermaids, crabs, and guppies, why? There's a musical for that.
If you like fan of the opera fan fiction, there's a musical for that.
If you like falling in love and broken hearts, and establishing your dreams and then having them dashed, and duels, there's a musical for that.
And it's called Wicked.
And it's called Little Mermaid Live.
It's called Hamilton.
And it's called Dogfight.
And it's called Phantom of the Opera 2, Love Never Died.
Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years.
Hello, welcome to There's a Musical for That with Tiffany and Kayla. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Kayla.
And if you like following your heart over following your mind, well, there's a musical for that. And it's called The Sound of Music. Woo. So The Sound of Music originally debuted on Broadway in 1959. The movie was made with Julie Andrews, released 1965.
Wow.
And there was also a CBS live musical version.
Yeah.
Was that in 2013?
Who cares? Just kidding.
Who's-
I'm not sure.
I think that it aired in 2013. Let me look this up real
TV
fast.
adaptations. 2013, December.
Oh.
With the sound of music.
And we recently watched this when it came to the Fox in St. Louis. Got complimentary tickets from Kayla's father.
Yes.
Thank you.
Who's not sure if we like musicals or not. Yes.
So we're primarily focusing on the one that we watched together, the Fox one, but I've also seen the movie, and the movie was one of my favorite ones when I was little, so I've seen it dozens of times. And then I saw the CBS version as well.
I think we can talk about all of them and then talk about the differences, I guess, between the different adaptations, because I know the songs are different from the movie to the live versions. Because I've seen the movie all the way through, I think, once in my entire life, because I kept thinking it was over at a certain point. When they got married, I always thought it was over, and it was not, to my surprise.
So, what do you want to give a general synopsis of what this is about?
Sure. So, The Sound of Music is about Maria, a woman who wants to be a nun, and she goes off to live with the Von Trapp family and ends up marrying...
She's sent off to...
Yes, that's true. I don't know in real life.
Well, yeah, in real life, probably not.
But she ends up marrying Captain Von Trapp and becoming the wife, and the children are singers. So this is based on a real family. The Trapp family, or is it the Von Trapp family in real life? Because one of the movies was about the Trapp family. But this is about the Von Trapp family. No, they're the Trapp family. So the original musical, it was Rodgers and Hammerstein who also did their version of Cinderella. The original musical was based on a movie about the Trapp family singers, which was based on Maria's memoir called The Story of the Trapp Family Singers. So I don't know how accurate this is to their actual life. I couldn't tell you. So Maria goes to live with this family, and they run away from Nazis. That's really, that's it. You don't need to see anything. Doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Yes. So that's what this is about. And that's in there somewhere. Yes. Should I add more details?
No, that's good. I mean, Maria marries Captain Von Trapp, and yep.
I mean, yeah, she wants to be a nun. She realizes that it's, not for her.
She was raised to be a nun, so that was her, because she went to live in the Abbey as a pretty young girl, so she just, that was her. She grew up around it, And then she just went in there of like, that's just what I do next.
But I thought it was, well, in the musical at least, she said, I used to see you guys singing out in the garden, and I decided I wanted to be one of you. I didn't think she got sent away.
Well, not sent away, but I got the impression, and I made the assumption that her family was no longer around.
I think that's a good assumption to make.
So I feel like something happened to her family, and then she went to go live in the Abbey, which she was okay with because she grew up hearing them sing because she grew up around the area, and then it was like, oh, this is just what's next.
Yes.
And she wasn't unhappy about it, but she never really thought for anything else for herself.
Yeah, she thought they sang. I like to sing.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have permission to sing in the Abbey.
That's, like, messed up.
Mm.
In my worldview, it's messed up. Don't come for me, Catholics. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what you're about. I just think it's weird.
So yeah, she sings. She's all over the place. So they send her away to see the world. To take care of the Trapp family, the Von Trapp family, whose Captain Von Trapp was like a war hero during World War I and super rich, nice view of the mountains and giant estate. There's
The
like
Swiss Alps, right?
Sure.
Mom is no longer with us.
No.
She's deceased.
They live in Austria right before World War II, or maybe it's during, I don't know, but it's like
World War II it's before Nazi occupation of Austria.
Yes, but they're coming in. It's before and during. So Maria comes in, the kids are all over the place, but she wins their hearts and sings.
Teaches them how to sing.
Yes.
Which is not that easy.
I wish it were, though.
Because if you can't carry a note, do, re, mi, fa, that means nothing. Of course you can sing. Just carry a note. Okay. No, I'll fix my vocal cords.
That would make for a nice movie.
I mean, no, I think it's great, but you can't just say, I'll just teach you how to sing, because everybody's vocal cords are not the same. Everyone's range is not the same. Some people's vocal cords cannot hit the notes. It's fine. Don't feel bad.
It's not fine, and I do feel bad.
Oh, Maria. How dare you.
And Captain Von Trapp starts to fall in love with Maria, but he's also seen some
rich lady.
Yeah, business lady who's like a CEO or something, and they're gonna get together, and she wants to live in his nice rich estate, and realizes that he's not going along with the Nazi stuff, and she isn't okay with that because she doesn't want to rebel or anything, and it's causing too much trouble. So she leaves Georg.
What?
That's his name.
Whose name?
Or Gale.
Captain Von Trapp?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's his first name?
I don't know, girl. So yeah, the fiance lady is like a go along to get along type of person, and Captain Von Trapp wants to follow his heart and not, just lay down and take it. I'll sing while you Google. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Right. George is Georg. That's George without an
That
E.
is not how they said it. That is for sure
They
not
weren't
how
speaking
they said
English. So, do, la, fa, mi, do, re. So, do, la, di, do, re, do. Well, if you know the
I feel like they said Georg or something. Georg?
He sounds like a golem from Lord of the Rings. You can sing most anything. Not true. Did you figure out what you're looking for?
I was confused.
Gorg, a name I call myself. George, a real life name in life. Gregory, a fuller name.
I've seen
Greg,
this movie like probably
that
a good
name.
20 times in my life.
I'm not sure.
I'm very sad.
Joe, a possible nickname for George, a real name. Georg, and not a real name. Which brings us back to George. His name is George.
I'm gonna go with it's Georg.
Oh. Why would you be named that?
Captain Georg Von Trapp. So anyway,
George.
so she
George.
leaves. He and Maria has a short stint where she runs back to the Abbey, and
She doesn't speak.
the mother is like, "Oh, you don't have to be a nun. You can serve God anywhere."
They're trying to
And
forcibly
she
kick
goes-
her out. They're like, please leave.
She goes back to be with Captain Von Trapp, and they get married, and then the Nazis are taking over, and they're going to make him put up the Nazi flag, and he doesn't want to, so then they have to, and they're going to also make him serve, so he has orders to come and serve in their army
In the
or
Navy.
in their navy,
In the
or
Navy.
I
He's
guess
gonna be
probably go to a
arrested.
camp, yeah. So they start to devise a plan to get away, and their friend,
Quote unquote friend. That guy was a skeezer.
he helped them in the end.
He didn't mean to. He was a schemer. He was like, don't tell your father that I'm signing you up for this.
What was his name? Michael?
Huh.
We'll call him Michael. Yeah.
So, you're supposed to sing while we're waiting.
I'm not singing.
So, do, la, fa, Rolf.
No, that was
Oh.
the oldest daughter's.
Max.
Yes,
Is
Max. There we go. I knew it started with an M. So Max is trying to look for a new. He's a talent scout or whatever, and
He's
decides-
a scumbag.
He's not terrible. So he starts.
He was taking calls from Nazis at what's his face's house, and he was like, "Why do you keep?"
In
having
the
me call my
end, which
house?"
you've never actually seen because we left early, he actually helps them escape.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll be quiet now.
he arranges for them to sing in some musical production, and they actually end up using that for the family to escape.
Yes, they're like, we can't leave. We're supposed to be, putting on a talent show.
Yes, and in the midst of all that, in at least the shows and everything, Max actually helps the family escape, and he goes along, and he could get in a lot of trouble, and probably when they left, did get in a lot of trouble for helping them escape. So he was putting his own life at risk.
That's good.
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess.
It's good that he did something nice.
Yes. Which, way back in the day when I was very interested in this, I did spend some reading time of the real family. I've never read the book or seen the movie that this was all based off of.
Uh-huh.
But from what I read, there wasn't some huge, escape plan. They just went on tour and never came back to the country.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. They're just like, all right then.
They're like, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
The little boy.
Yeah. What's his? Kurt.
Yes. It's high.
Goodbye. Wait, no.
It's very high. I can't go that high.
I
I have
can.
a very limited range.
You can scream.
It's been a couple of years since I had a good hearty scream.
Oh, you want to go out in the woods and scream?
I don't know. I'd have to practice. It just wouldn't come out.
I think it would.
Eventually, but
We need a wood to find to scream to let out our anger or
Someone
something.
needs to super scare me. Then I'd probably scream.
Really? You get scared easily. That's weird to me. That's so weird.
Oh.
I'm emotional. I don't get scared easily, though. I'm like, bring it on. I got a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. It's a crocodile Dundee.
I know.
My knife's not here. It's in my bathroom.
Oh. Well, that's a fun place for it.
This is a knife. You really should scream at some point, though. Let's go to Six Flags.
I've screamed in my life before.
No,
but-
I mean, again.
Okay.
Let's go to Six Flags. We'll scream.
Okay. So yes. What did you think of the live production?
So I have issues with live performances of things because I'm a very judgmental person. And I understand that when you see it on video or something, they have done several takes. I get that. I don't really like watching people act. It makes me cringe. It's awkward for me. Not a fan of watching children improv or anybody. It's kind of awkward. I just thought it was kind of awkward. I thought it was fine. It was just awkward. I was cringing the whole time, oh, stop. I was very aware that we were watching a performance.
Yes.
And I'd rather not. When we saw Hamilton, I did not feel that way.
Right.
I felt that way for some of it, but it wasn't the majority of the time. I was like, oh my gosh, look at them improving. Oh God. I felt immersed.
Mm-hmm.
It
No.
probably didn't help that we were so far away. Thanks, Dad.
There were itty bitty ants. I actually held up my finger at one point, and
Did you block out their heads?
I was. I was just like, I'm going to mention this during the podcast. I can use my finger to completely block them out.
Yes.
No, I felt similarly. It was... I was also not immersed. I also, in the very beginning, when they started out with some...
The nun singing?
Yes. There was one who just had a very high soprano voice, and I wasn't sure if her voice was going in and out, or if I'm losing that pitch in my hearing. But I was like, what's happening?
I didn't notice
It doesn't seem constant. So I was a little concerned.
Ooh, let's just say she was losing the note for our own sake. Please get your ears checked in the meantime.
Because I hear you lose higher pitches
You do.
as you age.
You do. That's true.
So this will be... I'll always remember that I found out I was losing my high pitch at this performance. I also don't... I watch the movie version so often that I'm used to that, and that's what I like, and I like that order of things. So the fact that the
Songs.
Favorite Things one was actually between Maria and the nun, and it was like in the CBS version too, so I guess that's just how the live performance is. I prefer it being with
The kids.
Maria and the kids.
Yeah.
It makes for a much better feel happy song.
Yeah. And it's a much more kiddie song. I don't want to see two adults singing it. Like, come on, get out of here. It was just like, okay. And I didn't really like the nun was like, you can't sing in here, but okay, let's sing. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nun are you? Mother Superior. Have you seen this live anywhere else?
Nope.
So I guess we
CBS.
That doesn't count. Doesn't count for anything ever. Oh, their Wiz was okay.
None of them were good.
Yeah, the Wiz was okay. Okay. The Wiz with Diana Ross, of course, is my favorite version of The Wiz, even though it got panned by critics when it came out. It was critically unsuccessful as a flop. Still liked it.
But to everybody who did participate in the CBS stuff, I'm not saying that anyone who participated isn't talented or isn't good, but I just don't think that that's... I don't know what CBS is doing and what they're putting together, but it's somehow just consistently not coming together well. So
Yes.
Nothing against all the performers. Sure, you're very talented, but no, I did not appreciate it.
How did Carrie Underwood do?
I did not appreciate it.
So she had...
But I like Carrie Underwood.
Right. Does she have an accent when she normally talks?
Yes,
remember?
I think.
So how did that... So did she put on a British accent for the...
I don't remember.
That's another thing that irks me is in, like, American-made movies, a lot of the times, if somebody is just not American, if they're some kind of European, they always get a British accent. That's so weird. They're Austrian. Like, come on. That's so weird to me. But I think it would be interesting to hear a person with a Southern American accent trying to also do a British accent in Austria. People don't like a German accent usually, really, anyway.
But I do remember... I'm pretty sure she had, like, those Swedish wrap around your head
I love
braids.
them. Milkmaid braids.
I was
Yes,
confused.
I love them. Why didn't they just give her a wig?
It may
Maybe
have been
it was
a wig, yeah.
If that's your choice in wig, I think that's a little... Okay. It's kind of childlike.
It was... Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on the CBS version, only to say, don't...
Don't do it again.
Don't watch it, maybe, unless you are
I'm gonna watch a
doing
piece of it.
something like some study or whatever for curiosity.
If you want to know what drives people mad.
You're better off just honestly getting the movie. I think the movie was really well done. I enjoyed it. It's still entertaining, even though it's sometimes older movies just go at a different pace. But if you like musicals, it'll still go at the same musical pace.
It is quite long, though, because as a child, I was ready for it to be done. When they got married, I was like, all right, turn it off. It's done.
I guess it is long, but I managed to watch it 15, 20 times as a little kid.
I mean, I watched a lot of Lord of the Rings as a...
Yeah, and that's really long. So
shockingly, I didn't realize that was long. I was like, this is just how long it is.
So
it's just
long.
what it is. That's just what it is.
So long.
And I'll watch that until I die, but...
I can't
So
do
yeah,
it.
it's different strokes.
Yeah.
Now I will try to watch. I'll see.
Hmm.
See what happens. If it's on Netflix, maybe I'll watch it. But I'm curious too. The program manager is at CBS, who is over the TV musical section, because they need to be let go, number one, or they need to be taken off that project. I'm pretty sure it's probably some like 20-year veteran of the company that they don't want to. But if you're not doing a good job, that's okay. Maybe you're not fit for that position. Something is going wrong in multiple places. And I think that it's one point of failure who is kind of overriding everything and saying, no, we're doing it this way.
Could be.
That's my hunch from working on teams where you have a lot of people doing a lot of roles and there is one person who can veto everything. It's very frustrating to be like, I know that this is not right, but what's his face over here is the one holding the purse strings, and it's like, okay, well, that's what we're doing. Okay. Rant over.
Yes. As much as I like musicals, I would rather that they just not.
There's a good way to do them and a not good way to do them.
Yes.
Not everyone has vision, and again, that's okay. It's just not your lot in life. It's fine. Just don't do it anymore.
Precisely. What else about the live? So we did end up leaving because it was
Packed.
miserable getting there because there was construction and it was crowded and I had to wait forever and people were clogging the intersections and they were being jerks about it. So I finally parked in the garage next to the Fox, which is a very nice garage.
It's fine.
Closest parking you're gonna get to it, $15.
Except if you can park on the street, which of course you can it was a Friday, right?
Yeah, it was a Friday night, so the street parking wasn't gonna happen. But I didn't want to get stuck in the crowd of people getting out of the garage, so we left right when they were starting, or right
Edelweiss?
after their.
Was he singing Edelweiss when we left?
I think so. Is it pronounced Edelweiss?
Probably in German now. Don't speak that. I think they do pronounce W's as V's, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. But yeah, when they were just starting to do like morphing into their live production, and I knew that right after that they were going to escape and run over the hills and run away from the Nazis, and I wasn't sure how long that was going to take in the live version. I didn't want to get stuck in traffic, so we left.
Yeah, and I got home in record time. It was great. I went to sleep before probably half of those people got out of that garage. I was already
I know.
in the bed.
I have
sleeping.
zero regrets about that.
No regrets.
It was also very, very cold, and it was just I was
cold.
tired.
We should always go on like a what do we usually go Saturday during the day or Sunday during the day? That's always way better because you can get there as early as you want, park somewhere nice, get
cheaper,
lunch,
yeah,
and relax.
Yes,
After
but these were
work is
free
no-go.
tickets. So.
That's very true. Thank you to whoever provided them to my papa.
Yes, and you're wearing your shirt.
I am.
It says "The hills are alive with the sound of music."
Yes, it's very cute. It's a yoga shirt.
It is very cute.
I also got a commemorative Fox cup filled with that drink that tastes like Jolly Ranchers.
And I got a lunchbox.
You did. They thought Tiffany was a child, and they didn't think I was a child.
It was kids' night at the Fox, and I walk in, and some 13-year-old boy hands me this lunchbox, and I'm confused because I'm stressed because I just got there, and I had to walk through this crowd, and it was cold outside, and I kind of look at him. He's like, "Oh, it's for kids' night," and I'm like, I just shrug. I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Given it back to him, like,
and
yeah,
I
okay.
walk away in a little bit of a confused stupor. Yeah, because I'm still trying to find Kayla, and I finally see her, and she's like, "What? They gave you a lunchbox? They wouldn't give me a lunchbox. They're just for kids." I am a grown woman.
You look like a grown adult who just got off of work. Children don't look stressed. I've never seen a child. Well, no. Some children who are in poor circumstances look stressed. But you look like I have just been in traffic. Please help me. You didn't look like I've dropped my lollipop. I was quite offended, but I didn't want anything that was in the lunchbox. So whatever, I'm fine.
Yeah, it was. I guess I like free stuff, but I was still. I was like, I thought I was over this. I finally thought I grew up.
You'll never.
No,
not
never.
like free stuff. Because I was walking in, and I guess I was behind a lot of people with kids because they were like handing them out to everybody, is what I thought. And I like walked up and I like looked at the lady, and they like looked at me and like pulled their hand back. And I was like, and then like gave it to a child that was behind me, and I was like, me.
I think that's part of what, because I walked in behind a mom who came in with her 2 daughters. So her one daughter was
Oh.
probably like 8 or something, and there was like a 13-year-old, and I think I was just the
next.
18-year-old in with this
Yeah.
tiny
Family.
family, and it was just like, oh, we're gonna give the lunchbox to the 3 girls that go with this woman, and I was like,
Wrong.
whatever. I got off so yes,
Doesn't
we did
matter.
not see the end of the performance.
And I know that they run over the hills are alive.
I have seen the end of the movie.
I
times.
know that I have. I couldn't tell you what happened. I just know
Um,
they get away.
So they do their performance in front of everybody, and then they leave, and then they end up actually winning the first place award, but they've already run away by then. So then the Nazis are like, no, we have to go get him, and the nuns actually help them escape. So they go to the nunnery, and the nuns give them a car, and they drive so far into the woods, and they have to walk the rest of the way. And Ralph ends up being a total jerk, and like sees
Who's Ralph? The boy? You
the
were
boy.
16.
Yes.
Little Nazi Hitler youth.
Yes, and he ends up seeing the girl and like saying, "Oh, they're
Liesel.
here," Liesel, and she's like, "Oh, Rolf," and like they make eyes for a second, and then he blows his whistle. It's like, "They're here! I found them!" And they run, but the nuns help them get away, and then the Nazis go in their car and they're trying to drive after them, and it cuts away to 2 nuns going up to Mother Superior, and they're like, "We have sinned." And then out from their nunnery clothes, they pull out these car pieces. So the Nazis can't chase
How did
them.
they walk with that?
What do you mean?
How did they walk with it under their skirt?
It's not like a ton. Like, it's just like important pieces. Because it's not the way that their stuff was. It was like they could tuck their hands behind some
Oh,
sort
got
of
it,
thing.
got it.
And-
Deep pockets.
Yes.
Got it. I want one of those.
So yes, they get away,
They
and then
broke
they
the
go
Nazis' car.
and sing and travel the world with their singing and write books and movies and such.
So
And
they
get
got-
royalties.
They went into Switzerland. Right? That's what's next to Austria. I've been there. I'm pretty sure Switzerland is next to it. I went to a rest stop in Austria, and I went to a rest stop in Sweden also. Nobody was blocking the border. They didn't have to see my passport. I was very upset. I was like, I want a stamp.
That is upsetting. Yes.
They were nobody at the border at all.
I feel like they don't stamp passports all that much anymore, and it's rude. Okay?
When I came back to
What's
America,
the point of the passport?
When I came back to America, they made me do the retinal eye scan to make sure I wasn't a terrorist.
What? That's cool.
They're like, you coming back home? They say like, welcome home. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. This isn't my home though. This is like Chicago. Thanks. And they're like, step up to the eye scanner. And I was like, okay. But where would you have a record of my eye anyway? I guess if I had been arrested, they would have had it. Now they have it. Oh.
They have my fingerprints.
I don't care about that. I'll burn these suckers off. How are you going to get rid of your eyes? You're not. This is Minority Report. Have you seen that?
I have. Yep.
You got new eyes.
Mm.
I want some. Spare.
You can just start wearing contacts to cover your eyes.
Does that work for the retinal scan that they do, I wonder?
I don't know, but how close does that machine have to be? Like, you would know if they're doing a retinal scan of your eye. It's not like they're just going to be like, oh, she left her eye print.
That's true. Who knows what kind of technology they have now?
Do you want to have good taste? If so, then we have the podcast for you. The new podcast, Good Taste, features hosts Taylor and Jacob as your pod docents discussing their favorite parts of culture, ranging from TV, music, and movies, to sports, apps, and food. They also discuss listener suggestions and go over the hottest news in pop culture. This show is guaranteed to make you the coolest person in the office. Listen in every other Friday wherever podcasts are found. Get Good Taste now. Thank you. Thank you.
You are 16,
Going on 17. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, fellas will stand in line. Baby, it's time to shine.
Probably both.
Maybe you're getting old. So that's the boy who rats them out. I'm glad she didn't kiss him.
She did kiss him. And then she goes, wee!
Ugh. Why?
Oh.
Did she like scoot on the bike or something? That's the only time you should go wee, if you're like on a scooter or a bike.
No, that was a
That was her
weirder
reaction
scene
to
in
the
the
kissing?
movie. Yeah, he kisses her and runs away, and she's standing there and just goes, wee!
People in the 60s were on so many drugs. That is not correct. Hey, my parents were little kids when this movie came out, like little babies.
Oh yeah,
Julie Andrews is still alive.
I know. I'm excited.
That's shocking now that I realize my parents were like little tiny like kindergartners.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad.
They were
I like
little girl
Julie
Gretel.
Andrews.
They were younger than Gretel. They were like Gretel.
I'm pretty sure Liesl, the actress who played Liesl, was like a year older than Julie Andrews in the movie.
Shocking.
I know.
I wonder if she's still alive. I hope
But you
so.
know, they always got really old people to play teenagers.
They still do.
I feel like it's gotten better though. Like they're at least not 40.
That's true. The latest Spider-Man movie was really good about that, and I remember thinking they looked really young, but they were actually like, because Spider-Man and Zendaya were both in it, and the guy who plays Spider-Man is actually like 21, and Zendaya I think is like 23, and they were like the oldest, and they still look pretty young. But I remember the other kids being like, "Oh, they look so young," and they were like 16. And I was like, "Oh, that's what they look
Yeah.
like."
I mean, I understand why. It's a lot easier to get
Gotta get them to
adults.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with child labor laws.
Yeah, or go to school. Don't go to school. Whatever. Be in this movie.
Work overtime. Work late nights.
Exactly.
What are we gonna rate this? Are we rating the overall story or specifically the live production?
Let's do both.
Okay.
Out of
over-
what?
Oh.
Children? Nun habits? Nunneries? Guitars?
Musical hills.
Yeah, I was thinking hills too. I thought that would be hard, but this is not even a real. Like,
Exactly.
It's not like I have to get them.
Or raindrops on roses. Okay. That's a no.
Sorry.
I don't know if you heard that, but she went, "Ugh."
I scoffed. I went scoff.
So hills
Whiskers
then?
on yes, please. Sprite, copper kettles.
Not
and
whiskers on
woolen
kittens?
mittens.
You don't want a 2-whisker kitten?
I don't want to abuse a child. I mean a cat. In my world, a cat is a child.
Are brown paper packages?
Doesn't matter. to
Okay,
me.
we're just gonna do hills then.
Okay.
All right. Musical hills.
These are a few.
So the live the live production, I'm gonna give 2 musical hills out of 5.
Yep.
Is that what you would give it?
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay. The movie production, I would give, I will give it 3.8 musical hills out of 5. It's very nostalgic for me. At one point, I probably would have given it 5 out of 5, but I just can't do that anymore. You know, people grow up and
Yeah.
things change. But for nostalgia purposes, and I do think it is well done. I do like the songs. I think it's nice. So 3.8.
Yeah, I'm gonna give. I don't know if I already said this. I'm sick, really. The live action. What
The
we
one we
at
saw at the Fox.
I would give it 2
Mhm.
out of 5. The movie, I want to say like a 3.5, but I think that might be too high, especially since I haven't seen it in so long. But I do know the songs, which is shocking. Not shocking for me, actually, personally, because I know a lot of songs that I don't know anything else about. I think. So, let's give it a 3.2. I'll have to watch it again. I want to say 3.5, but I don't feel like that's an accurate because I don't actually know what I'm talking about. I just remember the commercials of her. The Hills Are Alive on like every VHS tape that I had.
And there is an extra song in the movie that's not in the live stuff.
Which one?
When she's going to see the Montrat family, like when she just leaves the nunnery, she's carrying around her guitar.
I had confidence in
Yes.
myself. I thought you were saying it's in the musical.
No.
Because I was looking for that
Nope.
in the musical, and I was like, oh, I guess that's just in the movie.
Nope.
I
Yep.
have confidence in me.
Yes.
Swinging a suitcase.
Yeah.
Also, that Climb Every Mountain song, I know that because Michael Jackson sang that at his school talent show. His little
Oh.
boy. That's the first song he sang to let his family, because he wanted to be in the family band, and his dad kept saying no. And so at the talent show, he sang that song. And they were like, oh, he
good
knows
for
how to
him.
sing. So that's how I know that song.
So what is your favorite song?
Ooh. I don't, can you
Go first?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
So I would go with Raindrops on Roses. Not necessarily because they're
My
the
favorite
favorite thing.
thing.
Yeah, my favorite thing song. Not necessarily just in this, but people have redone that, and I've heard some really good renditions of that song. So I just really like that song in general. As far as the actual in the show, my favorite, or in the movie, my favorite song. I don't know. I like a lot of them. I'm still gonna go with that as my favorite. I like the good night song, "So Long Farewell," that the children do before they go to bed.
Oh yeah. That we sing at the end of the show sometimes.
Yes. And I like Do Re Mi because it's just
Yeah.
they're classics. Like I sing them all the time. I hum them. They're great.
I actually like The Sound of Music. The Hills Are Alive with The Sound of Music. And I think that is probably nostalgia from hearing it on every commercial. On like every channel. I don't even know the words. I just know The Hills Are Alive.
Oh, you're so much better. It was so high pitched. It was so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I remember thinking when in Beauty and the Beast, that's what she was going to start singing when she went up on that hill.
That is very, yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
I mean, how do you solve a problem like Maria? Is that how that goes?
How do you catch a cloud and pin it down?
You shouldn't
Yep.
break her spirit. Come on. I do like The Sound of Music. A lot of people like Edelweiss and say it makes them cry. I don't know the words. High on the hill where the lonely goat herd. I know because of Gwen Stefani. Yes, I have no clue what they're talking about. I tried to pay attention. I really tried. I don't know what they're talking about.
I like that done better in the movie too, because this is what they sang during the thunderstorm in the live production, but in the movie the kids are just doing a puppet production and like they're actually acting out what's going on.
Yeah,
and that I can like and pay attention to, but when they were just standing around singing it, I was like,
They
I
were,
don't
like,
think I
acting
care.
it out, but it's a hard to follow song because there's a lot of like words like goat herd and stuff and the goat maiden or I don't even know. High on the hill of the lonely goat herd, lady ole ole. You know back with the girl in goat herd? What does that mean? Lady ole ole. And she was yodeling, which is funny. Lady ole ole.
So when my grandma first went into her independent living way back in the day, and we went to visit her, and there was a bunch of old ladies, and we looked at them all coming at us, all with their walkers, and it was funny. But anyway, one of them was a yodeler, which was very proud of her yodeling, so she yodeled for us, and it was
Scary.
It wasn't scary. She was a good yodeler, but she was yodeling.
So funny. I feel like an average non-person who doesn't know Tiffany language would be like, oh yeah, that's a good compliment. Whereas I'm like, oh yeah, you did it. You did a thing. You accomplished a goal. Thank you. I would not like to hear it anymore.
It was sweet though, because they're just a bunch of little old ladies. So
yes,
you know.
I think yodeling is funny, and when it's just like when I'm sitting here doing that. But real yodeling always startles me because they can be so loud. And I'm like, whoa!
Yeah,
It's scary.
Yeah, I have not learned to
shocking.
appreciate the art. I'm sure if I looked into it a little bit, I'd be like, wow, this is so hard. This is really cool. What you can do with your vocals, and I'm not there. So I'm just like, what's going on?
Everything's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Even if you knew the art, you could still be like, I still don't appreciate that. That's not for me.
That's fair.
It's just
Yes.
not for everyone. Which is fine. I just know Jewel yodels, and I liked Jewel. You know Jewel? Will save your soul.
I think I can picture her. Yes.
I don't have anything else to say.
We did our favorite song. We rated it. Okay. Well, this has been fun, everybody.
Who will save your soul? If you don't save your own, that's a Jewel song.
Oh. All right. So, thank you for listening to There's a Musical for That.
Yes, I'm Kayla. I was going to say I'm Tiffany.
You're not? I mean, you can say that if you want to.
It's not true.
No, but, I mean, you could change your name.
I wouldn't change it to another common name. I would change it to, like, Treebeard.
Oh, no. I wouldn't change my name. Like, it's not my favorite name. I wouldn't pick this name, but it's my name now, so
I'm used
here
to
we are.
it.
Yeah.
I wish it was different, but whatever.
So, I'm going to start talking about my life now. I don't know if you want to keep recording.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
don't
start
care.
talking about TJ. So, I just welcomed a new nephew into my family on
Tiffany
Tuesday.
Jr.
Yes, exactly. Yes. He's going to go by TJ. He's actually named after my brother. So, my brother's name is Thomas, has his same exact full name. And my sister-in-law makes the request of, like, I really don't want anybody to call him, like, Tom or Tommy. Like, he's going to go by TJ. And fair enough. We've been calling him TJ since before we actually knew he was a boy.
Yes.
So,
Since even before I think she had another baby, right? It was just like, oh, when you have another baby, it's TJ, right?
something like that. But my dad was like, she can't tell someone not to call him by his first name. I'm like,
She can do
she
whatever she
can.
wants.
And also, we already call him TJ, so what's the point?
Yeah.
And he didn't say it like mean, but he was just doing like, you can't tell someone not to call someone by their name. And it's like, yeah, well, we're not going to, though. But I did clarify. I was like, if he's in trouble, can I call him by his first and middle name? And she was like, well, of course. And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's nice.
I just want to make sure that that's, because that's what you do. You know?
You bring out the whole name.
Exactly. So, that is allowed.
That's funny that your dad said. You know, my dad, when my nephew Aiden was a little baby, my dad has ingratiated himself to every child by feeding them donuts and coffee and other things that you should not give a child.
Yep.
And my sister asked my dad not to feed her child donuts, and he was like, "You can't tell me what to do." So he like shoved another donut in his mouth. He was like, "See, he likes hanging out with me." It was like, that's because you put Krispy Kremes in his mouth, and he's a baby.
She can absolutely tell you what to do with her.
Yeah, that doesn't. I mean, you can not listen all you want, but she can tell you.
Yeah.
That's like I can say, "Call me like whoop-de-doo." You don't have to listen. I can say it.
Yeah.
I can say it till my face turns blue.
Okay.
Are you guys tired of listening to this yet?
All right. Well, we're super glad that you hung in there for as long as you did. If you're still there, we appreciate your listening. So, had a wonderful rest of your day.
Who are you talking to?
Is it done? Did you
Still
stop
going.
it yet?
No.
Oh.
You don't have to keep. You don't have to sign off like you're in a meeting or on a
I just-
phone call.
I want to be polite. Thank them for their time.
Goodbye.
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 That was good though.
Mm-mm.
You know, I mean, it was you're higher than I could go.
I don't have a whistle register like Mariah Carey.
I think like the soprano that was doing that I was getting cut out on. That was my hearing loss. Okay, bye.
Bye. Push stop, please. Help.
Bye.
Stop.
Bye, everybody.
Farewell.
Bye.
Goodbye.
On Dada